Hey, welcome to another podcast, another Planner Perfect podcast. I am your host, Jenny Penton, and I'm really excited to be with you here today. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about how to write a better story for your life. If you don't know much about me yet, I just want to welcome you to this podcast. I am a homeschooling mother to 8 children. I'm an artist, and I have created and founded Planner Perfect, a planner and journal company out of Omaha, Nebraska. And I teach women how to write a better story and map out a life that they love. And so let's just dive right in and get started. You know, I think the first thing I really want to start off by telling and inspiring you guys with is the understanding that planning needs a foundation to work from. Planning needs a foundation. You know, my mom used to always say to me, you know, Jenny, planning comes from the wellspring of the heart. If it doesn't come from there, then your planning life will reflect that, and you will strive to live a fulfilled life. The planner isn't going to be used to its fullest potential if it doesn't come from your heart, if it doesn't come from a spiritual foundation. And in my early 20s, I really didn't understand that, and I really didn't appreciate it. I'm like, okay, yeah, all right. And I would just, script my life. I've been planning using this method for a very long time, since my early 20s. And it's evolved and grown, and I've learned what's worked and what hasn't worked. And then when I really was seeing huge momentum in it is when I've just created the planner and the method itself and was able to produce it and get it on the market. But I will say in the beginning, I only planned, which isn't bad. It was a journey. I mean, this is where I was at, and where I am now is perfect, and where I was then was perfect. But in the beginning, I did just my family's goals and, my family life. And then I began to see that I needed to incorporate myself. And when I incorporated myself, that was a game changer, because then it even changed my motherhood and how I viewed motherhood and how I was as a mother. So I started to feel I began to feel a loss of identity with myself. And it was around my 4th child when I started to feel that. It was like I was pouring so much into them and child rearing and homeschooling and being a wife that I forgot who I was. And though I knew what I was good at, and I had a really good time being a homemaker and being in the home, boy, I still do. I love it. So many things to do. And dabble in and have fun with and learn and see what you're good at. And I just love it. And to have your children be able to be a part of that, it's really, really wonderful. But I always kind of had those things that I loved kind of be on the outskirts, because I never really pulled them into focus, because, after all, I'm a homeschool mom. I've got to focus on them, and what mom would I be if I put me first at all? And so once I changed my perspective on that, knowing and then an understanding that I needed to put me first so that I could be a better inspiration and leader to my children, then did everything change. And it invigorated me to say, if I had small babies, they painted with me in terms of if they were babies, they were strapped to me, or, in a little wrap, or I just did what I did. I just put them with me, and they were with me all the time, and they could see me use what I love to do. See me use my talents. I mean, what a great way to teach your children to live a dream. I mean, instead of telling them to, show them what that looks like. It's very, very important to do. Very, very important to do. You want to lead by example in everything that you do, which is why living your life and planning your life is a spiritual journey, a spiritual experience. We're always expanding, we're always growing. And a lot of times people, aren't seeing fruits from or understanding, have a spiritual understanding. And this is, once you begin to awaken to them and be spiritually awakened, you can see just who you really are and take your power back so that you can live a life that you want to live and love it and not be controlled by everything else that's going on around you. So I feel like now a lot of times planning is more of a hobby and a creative outlet more than used as a tool to living a fulfilled life. It's more of definitely a glorified task manager. It's glorified now because you spend hours and hours and hours, decorating it or planning, the new cover you're putting on or whatnot. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if your content's not there, then you're not using it as effectively as you could. And if you're not seeing fulfillment, and if you are constantly feeling you're unorganized, and if you are for the most part feeling like you yourself definitely aren't heading anywhere, then this podcast is for you for sure, because I have there's probably more, but I've summed it down to 2 different things that we're doing, that you could be doing, that could be stopping you from becoming and writing that better story, okay? And becoming fulfilled. So this is going to really be great. You're going to love this, okay? Now, most mothers don't even accomplish most things they set out to do, okay? Because of the fact that whether with a task manager or whatever, most mothers don't accomplish the things they set out to do. And here are the 2 reasons why. Okay. And this doesn't just pertain to mothers, it pertains to anybody. But mothers, and me being a mom of so many, you know how it is with children. Children can really introduce to you a little bit of a detour to your plan. Okay. But the world can as well. So this doesn't pertain just to them, but boy, children, we know that they can. Now, reason number 1 is that we allow outside circumstances or current conditions to control us. So that would be the first reason why. I mean, no wonder why knowing women don't get anything done. I mean, all it takes is a child to come in with, one shoe only, and you already got you need to go somewhere, or the fact that they're throwing a temper tantrum and before you even get out the door to go somewhere, right there already, right out of the gate. No wonder why we don't get anything done, or feel like we're heading, or we feel like we're backpedaling when conditions can create such havoc. Okay. But now listen to what I had just said there. Because the number one reason that you're not accomplishing what you set out to do is that you're allowing the outside circumstances to control you. Number 2, we're going to dive into these further here in a second. I'm going to dissect them. Number 2, planning in a way that doesn't tell the subconscious mind enough information to go by. Yeah, it's true. Your mind, your subconscious mind, needs some feels and something told to it that indeed you want to do it. Only do what you love to do. Write down only what you love to do. You're like, Jenny, well, that list would be nothing. I would have nothing on it. Okay? Only do what you love to do. You need to shift your perspective on what you're currently doing, or change change your thinking on what you currently have to do, or change things around in your life until you can get it and tweak it to of what you want to do and how you want to live. I mean, enjoy life. And that is really the method, is so enveloped in the beauty of life and soaking it in and being in nature and enjoying your coffee and slowing down and knowing who you are, and all of those things come into play. That's why it's such a spiritual experience. You need to when you're writing down what you want to expound on bullet points, because it gives your subconscious mind, your mind, more to go off of. It's like, okay, it's going to inspire you and motivate you from within to accomplish what you want to do when you feed it more information, rather than some bullet points that you really don't want to do anyway, and you're pretty sure that it's going to go, south when the kids wake up anyway. It's a matter of shifting and changing perspective. And that's huge. Let's dissect some stuff just a little bit more. Allowing current conditions, number one that we said was allowing current conditions to control us. Okay? We don't want to do that. Now, if you haven't listened to my other podcast about in regards to embracing what you do not want, you're going to want to go do that, because I really talk in depth about being able to embrace the things that you're perceiving as very negative and how to move beyond that. It was a really good podcast, and I encourage you to listen to it. But I'm going to touch on it again really here, because it's very, very, it's just really important to write a better story. And one of the reasons why we don't accomplish the things we set out to do. So you're going to want to begin to allow the conditions that come into your life to come without judgment. So when they come to you and there is a tantrum, or the guy cuts you off, or your husband has something different that he wants or needs for you to do, or that's making you mad, or the cash register clerk, or something happens, you get that phone call that you didn't like from someone. I could go on and on, right? It doesn't matter what it is. If you're perceiving it as negative and it's coming in and it's sabotaging something, number one, understand that, you have a choice in everything that comes to you. And anything that's negative that does come into your life is an opportunity. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to grow. If you do not grow, you will see this happen in your life over and over and over again. Who here has had that happen? I have. I'm raising my hand. Okay? Very high, by the way. Very high. I would have certain scenarios in my life that I just thought, wow, what is this, Groundhog's Day? Why am I seeing this? Because I didn't grow from it. We're always meant to expand and grow spiritually here. And if we don't, we'll stay the same. Nothing changes. It changes, but nothing gets better. Everything's always moving and evolving and moving and moving. It's a matter of if you're going to go along with it or not. So you're going to want to spiritually grow, because that's when more things that you're wanting comes to you. That's when more of the desires of your heart comes to fruition. When you see the miracles, when you see the manifestations, which we're always manifesting, but the manifestations that we actually want, that's when we see it. When we embrace the negative and we quit fighting it. I have a really great story again. My son Blaine has always given me a lot of examples on what, a lot of challenges for me. And I love, love, love it. I used to hate it. Now I'm like, bring it on. Bring it on. And they're very far and few in between actually now. Before, I have 5 sons, 3 girls. And the boys, 4 of them for sure. They're all very strong-willed, and they have always tested me. And it wasn't as of the last 2 sons did I start to spiritually awaken to who I really am and how to align with God, so that I could partner with God to be able to change my reality. And what a beautiful thing. And my sons, my daughters have all taught me. I feel like, you know what? No, you've taught me. You've taught me. You're here. You have spiritually awakened me. I can't thank them enough. I can't thank them enough. But Blaine, I did the mistake actually of doing a video out in the open, which I was out in my kitchen. I thought, okay, I told one of my older sons, to watch Blaine upstairs. And halfway through, it was a YouTube one, so it was pre-recorded, and I could hear him making a ruckus and that he wanted to get downstairs to me, and my older son gave up. I could hear the whole thing, and I'm here, I'm trying to talk and do this video. And it was about my planners, and I had an aerial view of it, and he come running down, barreling down, talking. And talking to myself in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I could cut that out. Maybe I could do a voiceover. All these different things. Because I had put so much effort into this video here. And he was about ready to barrel through and sabotage it. And he already started trickling through. And he hopped up on the island where my planner was. In the video, the camera was down on the planners. And he put his feet like on my planners. And I'm like, oh, really cool. So cool, actually. This is really cool. Now, at first, I was starting to feel in my gut a burning sensation and then feel my fist clench because I was like, seriously? Seriously. But I know what to do and let it go. I looked at it and I thought, hey, at first I thought I'd give it my shot. And I thought, hey, can you move your foot? Can you move your foot? No? He's like, no. Not only were they just sitting on my planner, but they were like dirty and dirty and gross. I was like, oh my gosh. So I thought, you know what? He was excited because we were going to go somewhere that day. And I thought, all right, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to let this go. I'm not going to fight this. I'm going to let this go. And I thought, Mama can do this video later. He was excited to go somewhere. I just decided to and looking at it with no judgment, nothing was wrong or bad about it. He just was like, no, Mom, I want to go, and put his foot there on my thing, just sabotaging the whole thing. I decided to just embrace it, not care. I said, I'm going to do my video later. And a lot of times I don't want to do my video later. I want to break them out in the morning because that's when I'm at my best, my peak. And so when you're out and about all day and you come back and do a video, it's kind of like, blah, you just kind of want to rest a little bit and regroup for dinner. Well, I thought, everything's going to work out just fine for me. Everything always does. I'm going to just do my video later, and it's going to be even better than this one. I hugged my son, put my video down, deleted that one, and thought, let's go do our thing and go have fun. And, he ran out to the car, looked like What About Bob. Have you guys ever seen What About Bob? When Bob Wiley gets out in the car and he's excited for his psychiatrist to get in the car with him, and his head's hanging out the window. He's all excited. Well, anyway, that was Blaine. And I thought, let's do this. Let's go have fun. We had a beautiful day. Came back. My boys watched a movie. We're totally quiet. And I did the most. I banged out a really amazing video when I got home. And everything turned out. When you allow yourself to allow what comes to you and embrace it, not judge it, but don't fight it, you are allowing what you do want to come to you. When you fight it, you're blocking what you do want to come to you. Did you hear that? When you fight it, what you do not want, you stop what you do want from happening. Don't worry about it. Don't fight it. Let it go. Let it go. Everything's going to turn out just fine. Everything's going to turn out just fine. So remember that, okay? And if you don't understand it, it's just going to keep getting bigger, and you're going to keep seeing it in your life over and over and over. So you'll get more opportunities. Don't worry. This is a really great thing to know so that you can live a more freer life and live fulfilled. It's going to be really nice to not get so riled up by your conditions. It's going to be so freeing to not let other people get you mad. It's going to be so freeing to finally be at a place in life where you know who you are so much, when you identify yourself that you are, that God is within you, and that the things that are going on with you are actually like a mirror, that we're just connected to everyone and everything. When you can just let things go and just let be a flow and an instrument to allow God to work through you and to give to you, that's a beautiful place to be. Let's go into number 2 and dissect that really quick. About number 2 was planning in a way that doesn't tell the mind enough information. So when we get to that, you're going to want to be able to, with the method, it's really about using your planner as a vision board. It's a matter of, and my planners are set up that way. So it's just this blank paper that's beautiful. The covers are beautiful. You have beautiful accessories to go with it to beautify your planner, but you're going to work on that content. When you wake up in the morning, how do you want to rise? Do you want to rise up at early this morning? Do you want to, and how are you led to do so? Meditation is so beautiful to do in the morning. It kind of gets you set up for that, to just get rid of all the mental clutter. So you're set up to be able to hear and get a God download of what he wants for you today. It always comes in like just ideas. You get all these great ideas. I'll go into a meditative state and I have so many ideas. I'm running to grab my pen. And I just flow through my day. Okay, I'm going to grab this amazing coffee. I want to do this. I'm going to shower here. And then I'm going to, oh my gosh, I'm going to do this. Everything that I have written down, I want to do and I love to do. I partner with other people, my children, other things to shift things that I can't get done or maybe aren't my favorite things to do. And that way I pay my older daughter, let's say, to do certain things for the laundry so that I have frees up more time for what I would like to accomplish with my writing and my business and video. That right there, that's just focusing and doing and partnering and doing things and writing things down that I love. The best dinners and lighting the candles and taking time for me and taking time to know what I want to do with my children throughout the day and learning with them and being with them, or date nights with my husband, or doing a really great gift for my sister, or planning that out in advance and planning, envisioning, and being a visionary for your life. Writing down only the things that you love and want to do. All of those things are so important in your well-being and the fulfillment of your life and writing a better story. So no wonder why we always have so many struggles with being fulfilled. We're letting conditions control us, and then we're writing bullet points to do. Both of those things combined are like a surefire way to stop us dead in our tracks from moving further from where we are. So we're going to want to embrace everything. Embrace it. Embrace it. Don't look at it with no judgment. Try it. Then we're going to plan in a way that involves more detail. If you want more information on this, on detailing your life and being a visionary for your life and writing your life like a written vision board, then you can check out my YouTube channel and join me on Facebook for everyday inspiration over on Planner Perfect. And be sure to do that. And of course, Instagram, I do live and I do stories, and I think you'll be inspired. So with those two things, being detailed with your planning and embracing change and embracing negativity, you're setting yourself up. You're now understanding more of how to be fulfilled. You're not living off a life of a couple bullet points and barely getting that done. You're fulfilling and you're being led to do the next steps, and you're writing that down. You're enjoying life. You are enjoying your family. You're enjoying where you're at. Even if you don't like conditions now, don't let it take your power. Be joyful now, understanding that when you let go and when you have joy where you are, then your conditions change. And only then. When you find the joy now is when you can write a better story. When your story changes. I hope that's been inspiring to you. I hope that has got you ready to get your pen licked and your planner laid out and a new look at anyone or anything or any condition that comes to you that you're feeling is negative. Let me know. Leave a comment and let me know where you're at in your journey and how you want to use this as this message as a way to begin this spiritual journey in writing a better story. I can't wait till next week to be with you guys. Until next time.